Hi, it's me. I'm just trying to do a vlog thing for Atos Miracles. Today I was motivated to try and move this along by the fact that I'm dressed. I'm just showing off I'm dressed. I know it looks a bit, the glittery things looks a bit like it should be a Christmas jumper. This jumper was given to me. I just felt I needed a bit of glitz today. So once a week I'm dressed to go to the hospital. Now I put that in as I know so many of you who come into Atos Miracles are in a similar situation. You know, it's like people just see you occasionally dressed or occasionally out, occasionally with some war paint on, depending. Maybe if you're a guy shaving. And reality can be really different. So I'm just pushing that in. I feel happy to be dressed. Isn't that bad? I'll be feeling it tomorrow. I'll be like, oh, after doing stuff today, I put that in again just to kind of share, because a lot of people know what I'm saying, and it can be a weird thing, can't it? So yeah, I want to really start getting the YouTube thing going, because I think that's a resource that we're missing. So let me give a bit of history about Atos Miracles, and many of you watching this will have been part of that history. It's, you know, it's everyone's history, whether, you know, and if you're recent, you're part of it. So we started, well, it's just me, I didn't know what a page was. It was just over 5 years ago. 5 years ago, September, I think, last year. And it was a reaction, knee-jerk reaction, as many of mine are, not something that was considered, because Atos were really the ones in charge of the work capability assessments, and they were buggering it up. It's still a good secret amongst the media and, like, normal people. I put normal in the quiet things. But, yeah, they were bugging it up. And not only that, they were being bullies. So people I knew who had set up support groups online and things were getting these cease and desist letters. You can't do that, you can't do that. And then one of the carers forums, which is so important. I mean, people who are carers, come on, we give them such little support. And many carers, I think the majority, I can't remember the statistics on it. Excuse me, my tongue's not good today. The statistics are that most carers have something physically, you know, wrong, or your mental health. Not surprising, is it? So there was a carers forum, and people would go there 24 hours a day, leave messages, integrate people, get support. Someone put a link, I think it was to Black Triangle. If you don't know Black Triangle, get there. A link, credible, a meme on there. And Atos got the whole page shut down, and the whole support. It was not a page, it was a whole website, and the forums and everything just shut down like that. Like, really? You're really going to do that, are you? So I just, what do I do? So I didn't know what a page was on Facebook. So set one up. And they obviously didn't like people saying how bad they were. So I thought we'd have a page where we said how wonderful they were. You know, how you go in and you're cured. I mean, one of my favourite tales in the early days, a woman wrote into us, and her story was, I think it was her uncle, and he was blind in one eye, and he had a false eye in the other. And the Atos report said, yeah, he can't see at the moment, but with an operation, he would be able to see in both eyes. And what was the other one of someone, what they said, asked, you know, what do you do in your day? And they said they like pottering. I'm sure, you know, on a good day, a lot of us do a little potter around. So then it came back in her report that she actually did pottery, like made pots. And Atos would get paid a lot. So the page got set up. I said, I didn't know what a page was, didn't know anything about it. I just thought, right, come on guys, come on, bring it on. Not knowing that I'd actually found a loophole to keep the page going. Legal loophole, not saying what at all. And maybe they were giving up by then because of the bad publicity. So I thought if 100 people joined, I didn't know where it was going to go. It was just like, stop bullying us. And it kind of grew, didn't it? It grew. And one thing that I'm really, really pleased about, as I say, it's been very organic, what's happened with it. And always wanted to empower people, because you don't just want to come saying, well, you do this, you do that. No, this is the information, this is a toolkit to go on and use, and for yourself, pass it on. And there's so many really good groups. A lot of them are private groups, which is good. Like our page is public, although you can write in a private message and that will never be repeated or shared without your permission. But there are private closed groups that you can go in, and they're really doing well. There's so many people on them. There's a real community. People are passing on knowledge, passing on experience, and we're taking our power back. I think there was a time in the whole of society, when you look around, that, oh, here's the expert for this, I'll go and get them to the expert. And it's the same with, understandably, with things like welfare rights. It's a labyrinth and it's quite more complicated. But yeah, you go to a specialist, you get specialist help. But in that, we did give up some power and our own knowledge. So I think there is a positive thing of taking back control. The downside to that is when you're really limited with what you can do, can't do, your resources, brain capacity, it's a lot to ask. But maybe we're getting a bit more steering the ship. See, I'm not saying this as definitive, I'm saying some maybes. So the page thus grew. I didn't know you could have like admins on. So our great admin that we had, who's been the real heart of everything, the page wouldn't still be going if it wasn't for him. And he's the kind one. I'm the rat bag one. It's known originally as Brother C, because we had this beginning, we just made out we were sort of like this healing church, so they were like, sisters and brothers, like in a monastery, So it was just being silly. So lots of you will have spoken to him privately, and his research is great, but his heart for everything and his care is lovely. And we've had a number of admins come and go. It's quite wearing. You can imagine it can pull you down. So people do get burned out. I've not been. I confess first, and I apologise that I have not been at the helm. I didn't know it was going to be like this. One of my problems is PTSD, which I have written about on the page, and that was getting triggered by a lot of things. I know people were putting down this thing, trigger warnings. It's all no. I mean, the real complex PTSD and this stuff. It's not very jolly, let's put it that way. So I've not always been able to even look after the admins, to look after you, but admins have done such a great job in the past, the current, and whoever's in the future. I'm sorry I haven't been at the helm. But it's, those admins, and it's your reaction. You guys have been great. I mean, it's very peaceful. There was a time when there were a lot of arguments breaking out on different pages, which is understandable because we often go on a page when we're in a crisis, we're feeling frustrated, there's a lot of anger. And where's that going to go? It comes out. So at times when other pages have been, ooh, there's only been the odd little skirmish, and you guys have been really good. Say if someone has been abusive, you've messaged us. I can talk sometimes. Messaged us to let us know, name calling and things like that. So it's you and your interaction. And we've had people over the years that have just done fantastic memes for us, fantastic artwork. Some of them, then moved on to other things. It's been an intermediary post that they've done that and then moved on to perhaps professional work and on all sorts. So I've been really grateful There's been a media help as well. There's a couple of very good journalists, national journalists, that particularly we've worked with, got out stories. They put a positive spin on. They're not there to find something to exploit and wheedle. And we've had some, sadly, very, hard stories. And well done to the courage of people concerned, relatives and friends who have gone out and spoken. It's not always possible. It can be far too much. That's been good for everyone. So that's a kind of a bit of a history. It has changed. I think now as you've got your private groups, and perhaps our role has changed. And as it gets more people, I think it was perhaps felt more family-like. I don't know. Some people have said, "Oh, it's just be really nice, if my family, I feel safe." And new places, people, have moved out from that. I'm waffling. This doesn't always work. So you get a percentage of waffle. As I try and get more professional, I'm just using the cheapest Vodafone phone doing this, but I'll try and do editing and waffle factor, because your lives are too short to have my waffle. So we got our busiest time was in the last elections, leading up and to the joyous result. I'm going to talk about that in another vlog. We reached just through Facebook. That's without Twitter and other things. We reached nearly 5 million people that week before the elections. It's a lot. So I'm feeling a lot of emotion with all the stories that have come through. Some people have come to us and spoken, have died along the way. Natural causes, I'm thinking of ones particularly. Yeah, and there's some stories do really stick with you, and you think, I wonder how X, Y, and Z is going. So the future, moving out, you can reach whole new people with YouTube. I should try and do a professional thing. I'll be getting some advice perhaps in the coming week about that side of things. So that will be good. So you interact. Tell us what you'd like. I mean, we're still disseminating lots of information. If you go on the page on Facebook, it's Facebook ATOSM, for those who don't go on there. Lots of information, what's in the media, latest thing, because things are changing every day. They really are changing. Still personal stories put up. We love it when we hear about you winning a tribunal, getting the appropriate reward, and everyone goes, hey, everyone feels really happy. It's a huge boost. So that's great. So, I don't know. I mean, personally, I'm getting treated with stuff every week. It's kind of like a full-time job. I shall try and keep a little bit, even it's a pinky finger on the helm, okay? And being a woman and looking at myself on this, I had planned to be losing weight, and this is going to really make me lose weight. So you'll be doing me a favour. I can't exercise like a lot of you, so it takes harder. So it is just the food. No comfort food. Is it just me? Like sometimes if you're down, people go, oh, and they bring you a treat. But it's nice, but and I put on weight before Christmas. It's hard. So I was also, another thing I was wanting to do, if I feel brave enough, is kind of to film me and speak and share like reality, because we have our versions of reality, and it'd be nice to share like the real reality, which is me in my bed most of the time. I have a little nest of things around me. We've spoken about this on the page a long time ago. Other people have the same thing, have this to hand and that to hand. So if I'm brave enough, I will give you a warning though, because no makeup, and when you look bad enough now, I look like God knows which. Don't answer that if you agree. Just so it'd be quite horrific. So if you've just eaten, I shall give you a heads up. There was 2015. Forget what year in 2015. I actually did a TV interview, and I just got out of bed. I was staying at a relative's, and the crew were around filming something else, and they wanted to do a segment. So I just got out of bed. I didn't look in the mirror. So my hair was just up. Got my pajamas on. I don't know if I washed my face. And so I interviewed about stuff that needed to be said, I thought would help, about some disability problems. And they said to me, so what's it like if you... I said, look, I'm on telly. I'm on the telly. Like, in my pyjamas, straight out of bed. I didn't watch the programme. I exist somewhere on the net. I've not seen it. And I didn't let people know. So I kind of want to do that. I want to be brave enough. Because that is, for a lot of us, that's our reality. And it's the reality, okay, getting it back on these assessments and the nature of them. It's the reality that's not seen. If you're going to an assessment, by its nature, you'll have some clothes on. You'll probably, I say probably, for a lot of us, depends on your type of problem, excuse me. A lot of us will have paced ourselves out, and a lot with different problems talk about, very different problems. They get home, they collapse. They're absolutely bushed. I had a tribunal once, one of many tribunals, and they grilled me for 3 hours. It's quite a journey to it. There's a long wait. Then I had a constant 3-hour absolute grilling, in which they laughed at one aspect. That's very nice. 3 months physically it took me to get to the place I was before the tribunal. And God knows that was bad enough. 3 months. And accumulated damage of constant reassessments and tribunals, the stress, money worries. The damage has been, for me, incredible. Mine started many years ago, before Atos. So, I think these things are going to come up. They should be brought into the light. We now have the United Nations report that, our rights have been violated. Grave violations, was their words. So, time to uncover. Some people just still don't believe it. The minute you talk about this, but the scroungers. The scroungers. I saw someone. Yeah. And if those people looked at the private messages we get, don't worry, they would not. So many times we've cried with you. We really have. Been people, I know in the early days when the support structures weren't there so much elsewhere, we've been up all night with people. Keep them going. But, hey ho. So, that's me. Too much waffle. I shall try. Okay, my coffee's going cold. I had it here. I don't know why. Thank you for watching. Thank you for enduring. Thank you for the 5 years and a bit. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your trust. Thank you for your humour. Just there we go. Speak later. What button do I press? Bye.